Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Lana Simone. So first of all, I wanted to welcome you guys in. Hope you're having an amazing day. So today we're going to be talking about Promise Keeper. And I think this is so important. My last video we talked about Waymaker, and we talked about and I kind of referenced the song that kind of goes in line with that. But today I wanted to talk about Promise Keeper and just, how God is a promise-keeping God. And so, one thing I love about God is that he has integrity and that he stays true to his word and what he has spoken. And so a great representation, which is the rainbow. The rainbow was created because it was God's promise to us. It was the promise he made to the world that he would never flood the earth again and destroy it. And so we see that pretty rainbow in the sky, and we know that that's the promise of God, that's something, a covenant that God made with us, to say he loves us so much and he promises that he won't flood and destroy the earth again like he once did. And that's a really beautiful thing. The rainbow is so beautiful and I love it, and it's just a blessing to have that constant reminder every time we see it. But that, so we know with that he keeps his promises. God keeps his promises. And so one thing about us is sometimes we can get frustrated with God, we can get upset with God, and we can kind of get discouraged sometimes, and really standing and believing for the promises of God that he has spoken to us, or maybe he has had somebody else speak to us on his behalf. And so, I just wanted to encourage you today to know and be reminded that God is a promise-keeping God. Anything that he has promised you will come to pass, as long as we have to understand that God promises us things. But sometimes I feel like people forget that we have to also do work. We have to go through preparation. We have to go through a process in order to obtain the things that he has promised. So it's really our choice. With our choices is really how we obtain the promises of God. And so, if God promised you to be married and he tells you maybe to stop dating for like a year, or to stop or to really go to counseling to really do healing and prepare yourself, because I'm going to prepare you a husband, but I need you to be in order before I release him to you. So the promise is that he will prepare you a husband, but the preparation and the process that comes along with that promise is the requirements that he's asked you to do. So we have to remember that it's in our obedience is how we obtain the promises of God. And so if he's instructing you to do things, if he's telling you to do things and you're not doing it, and you're getting frustrated and upset trying to figure out why God isn't giving you certain things, or the promises that he said over you isn't coming to pass, we have to self-evaluate and ask ourselves, are we doing the things that God has asked us to do? Are we going through the process? Are we going through preparation? Are we going through each necessary step in order to obtain the promises that he has for us and for our lives? So just know that God is a promise keeper. He wants to fulfill the promises over our life, but it's up to us to make a decision. And our decision making is going to really determine if we will be able to obtain the promises that he has promised us. So he desires it. He will keep his word, but we got to know that sometimes we have to do our part and going on a process and doing the things that he's instructed us to do in order to really obtain and get the things that he promises and desires to give us. So, just be encouraged today. If you felt maybe frustrated or discouraged, or felt like God is not, doing what he said, like, just to do a self-evaluation. And if you feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to do, okay, because some people be like that, then ask him, Lord, what am I doing? What am I missing? What is maybe something that is holding me back from being able to receive the promises that you have for my life? Ask him that, and he'll start revealing things to you. Because sometimes we think it's him holding it up, but it may be something we're not doing that may be holding it up. And we can ask him for, to bring clarity to us and understanding so that we can move forward and do the things we need to do in order to obtain the things that he desires to give us. So, just know that, and just be encouraged. Like, sometimes God can promise us things, but sometimes we're not going to get it right away. Listen, God promised me a husband, he told me I would be a wife when I was 12, but he promised me a husband, almost 2 years ago, as far as revealing that person to me. So it's been 2 years. I think a lot of times people think that we're going to get it right when he said it. No, within this 2 years, he's had me go through preparation and a process. And so I'm at a point where it's almost over, because he's revealed new things to me of, telling me that it's almost over and showing me things but within that 2-year span, I've had to go through a process. I've had to go through refinement. I had to go through healing. I've had to go through preparation. So many things. I know what he promised me will come to pass, and that he will make it come to pass. But I do also know what he's instructing me to do, and the time that before those things, he releases those things to me. So, I've gained a really clear understanding. So, I just hope that other people start to understand too, because when you start to understand that there's processes and preparation that comes with the promises that God promises you, then you will get less frustrated, you will get less disappointed, because you know that you're on your process and preparation that's going to take you to get you to the promises and really get you the things that God has promised you. So just don't give up, don't be discouraged, and just don't be dismayed in your waiting season, in your preparation season, in your process season, because in due season you will reap the promises of God. But just know that sometimes he takes us on a journey, and sometimes the journey is not the best journey. It's not the most happiest journey, but it's the journey that's necessary in order to get you to where he wants you to be and give you the things that he wants to give you. So just be open to that. Just, do your best to stay encouraged, and really know that you can lean on God for strength and understanding during this time that you have to wait on his promises and prepare for the promises. So be encouraged today. Keep on moving forward, and know that in due season, if you faint not, okay, God will grant you and give you the promises and the things that you have been desiring. And we know in his word and just who he is, that he is a promise keeper no matter what. So you guys, I thank you so much for being here. I really pray that this video encouraged you today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.